Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. Thank you so much for pressing play. Today, we're going to be talking about the C8 Corvette Z06 and answering the top 5 questions that I've come across regarding this car. Let's jump right into it. All right, guys, so it has been kind of quiet on the C8 Corvette Z06 news front, and because of that, I wanted to go ahead and clarify some of the questions that I have been getting very often about this car through my email, through the comments section here on YouTube, and even on my Facebook and Instagram messengers. So basically, we're going to go through the top 5 questions about the C8 Z06, and then afterwards, we're going to go through my top 5 questions. So basically, the questions that have been asked to me about my personal Z06 that will be coming very soon. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Number 1, the biggest question I am getting on a consistent basis is price. So you guys know I've already made a video about the price, talking about what I think it's going to be and giving some information based on 2 different dealerships, salesmen that have reached out to me and confirmed said price, and why I think it's going to be right around the $90,000 mark before options. Now, guys, this video has been published about 2 months ago now at this point, and it is still relevant. It is still the current information. So like I said, I had 2 different salesmen reach out to me and confirm the pricing of the new Z06 to be right around $86,000 to $87,000. I think with inflation adjustments, we're somewhere closer to $89,900, right below $90,000 before options. So basically, if you grab this car at a completely stock base Z06, you're going to be right around that $90K mark. Like I said, I have had 2 different dealership salesmen reach out to me and confirm this pricing scheme for me. And while it doesn't sound like a guarantee of anything, these 2 have never been wrong in the past. They have given me very good information on the C8 Corvette in general, and I tend to agree with what they say typically. And if you watched the previous video where I was talking about the pricing, there's actually a lot of information you can pull from the C7 Corvette lineup and apply it straight to the C8 Corvette lineup, and it puts you right around that $90,000 mark. That is especially important whenever you consider the fact that up until this point, GM has followed the exact release schedule of the C7 Corvette with this new C8 Corvette. So it is very likely to be that $90,000 starting price based on a bunch of different information. But I will link that video in the description below if you guys want more information on the price. Moving on to number 2, the next biggest question I am constantly getting about this car is, what is the Nurburgring time? So for those of you who don't know, the Nurburgring is a track across the pond that a lot of cars actually test on to verify their track ability. As you guys know, the C8 Z06 is supposed to be the track king, and because of that, we want to know what's the time. Chevy has had the car over there, and we know that they've run the car a couple different times. We do know that they also didn't necessarily finish initially over there, so we're not sure if the time is even set in stone yet. But with all of that said, they have to have something, and we're all chomping at the bit. What is this time? So basically what I have been told and what I have seen is we are under 7 minutes. Now that could literally be 6 minutes and 59 seconds, or it could be even better than that. But either way, if we're under 7 minutes with this car, it is a giant win. As you guys know, the base C8 Corvette did the Nurburgring in 7 minutes and 33 seconds. So if this manages to go under 7 minutes, you're talking about a car that is significantly faster than the base C8 Corvette, and that is a gigantic win. I have a feeling we're going to be getting more information officially from GM on this very soon, so stay tuned for that. But for now, all of the information points to a track time that is under 7 minutes. Number 3, availability. So when can we get this car? When are we going to be able to order it? When's the allocation information come in? All of that stuff. So just recently, we talked about the fact that we are going to be able to start ordering this car on March 24th. So if you guys want to see that video, I'll post it in the description down below. I actually did a live video talking about all this information with you guys. But the GM Authority website actually put out an article talking about how on the 21st of March, we're going to be able to start actually building the car, seeing the cost of everything. And then on the 24th, we can actually start ordering it. Now, what that tells me is on the 24th, we're probably going to get some sort of allocation info. Maybe a little bit before then, the dealerships will start to know what they're going to be getting as far as how many allocations for the Z06 and everything like that. But on the 24th, you can officially put in your order at your dealership. They should have more more information at that point. So as far as the availability is concerned, we are looking at being able to order this car in about a month and a week or so. So March 24th, you can place the order. March 21st, we're going to start seeing some pricing, some official pricing from GM. Now, moving on, number 4, the next big question that I'm getting a lot. This is actually one that came up a lot even in my original live video on the Z06 launch, is top speed. So the top speed of the C8 Corvette Z06 is very likely to be over 200 miles an hour, and there's only a couple reasons why I believe that. GM seems to really be set out to put this car above the C7 ZR1 in any way that they possibly can, and while I think it's going to be over 200, I don't think that it's going to be faster than the C7 ZR1, but it is going to hit that 200 mile an hour mark. Now, what that means for you guys depends. Do you want to use this car on the track? If you do, it is going to hit over 200 miles an hour. If I had to guess, the number 202 stands out to me. I have heard that thrown around a couple different times as rumors, and that does seem like a legit number to me, but that is still significantly under the 212 plus for the C7 Corvette ZR1. Does that matter? Probably not. Most of us are not going to be hitting 200 miles an hour very often in this car, but it is still a question that I get a lot on my channel. Before we continue, I would like to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is, of course, Ridge Wallet. It is a fantastic replacement for the old traditional style wallet, and as a guy, I know we sometimes carry a lot of pointless stuff in our wallets. Receipts, hotel room keys, spent gift cards, all that stuff. The Ridge Wallet allows you to carry less, but always have access to what you need, all while staying sleek enough to fit in your front or rear pocket. The titanium, carbon fiber, and aluminum options ensure that there's an option and a design for everyone out there. Like I said, it is a great refresh on the traditional wallet while also offering RFID security to ensure your card info is never stolen. And the best part is you guys can get a 10% discount by going to their website and using the discount code horsepower, which I'll of course put in the description down below. If you're interested in learning more, definitely check it out. And number 5, the 5th most important question that I get all the time is how many of these cars are going to be made. So this kind of factors into the availability of the Z06 that we talked about just a little bit ago. But what this is really talking about is the car going to be rare? Is it going to be hard to get? Is it going to have as many made yearly as the base C8? And while I would love to tell you that there's going to be millions of these cars made and everybody's going to be able to get one, I really think that this car is going to be a more limited production, and some of the conversation from GM actually implies that as well. So the Bowling Green, Kentucky plant is set up to make 40,000 C8 Corvettes a year. They have not hit that number yet. The closest they've come is around 22,000. So the only reason I'm mentioning the base C8 Corvette when it comes to the Z06 is the fact that the Z06s are going to be limited at a 15,000 car production per year, and that is assuming that they're hitting 40,000 for the base C8. So if they're only hitting about half of their capacity for the base C8, it stands to reason they're going to hit around half for the Z06 as well. So I think the first year we're looking at between 5,000 and 7,000 C8 Z06s at most. After that, maybe more like 10 or 12. Hopefully they can start ramping up and actually getting to the point where they're making 40,000 C8s and thus hitting that 15,000 Z06 mark. Now, what this all basically means is even if they do hit the 15,000 mark for the cars, which would in turn allow them to hit the 40,000 mark with the base C8, you're still talking about a car that is much more rare than the base C8. And we already know how hard it is at this point to get a base C8. So yeah, the Z06 is going to be even more difficult and even more rare. Now, moving on to the top 5 questions that I get for me personally regarding my personal C8 Corvette Z06 that's coming. The first question I get all the time is, will I be keeping the Corvette ZR1 that I have? The answer is yes. So I will have that car on hand. I will be keeping it as long as I'm not made some ridiculous offer for it. As you guys know, the C7 ZR1 is going insanely high in value. And if I get offered something that I can't refuse, it might be sold. But for the time being, I see absolutely no reason to get rid of that car because it is an absolute beast and I love driving it. It will be very, very different from the C8 Corvette Z06, so I kind of like the idea of having both on hand. Number 2 is, when will I get the C8 Corvette Z06? As you guys know, I deal a lot with Click Lewis in Palmyra, Pennsylvania. That is a Chevrolet dealership. They have been great to me. I do a lot of videos up there, and that is where I'll be getting my C8 Corvette Z06 as well. I'm very high on the list, so odds are very good I'll be one of the very first ones to get it. So when will I get it? Probably within the first week or two of it being available. Number 3, am I getting the coupe or convertible? Now, you guys already know, for the most part, I'm a coupe kind of guy, so it will be the coupe that I get with the Z06, but I definitely understand the desire for the convertible. This C8 is the first time I've ever seen a convertible option on a car that didn't totally kill the looks to me. So if you guys are interested in the convertible, don't get it twisted here. I am very much so on board with the convertibles as well. The biggest reason I would get the coupe is because I want to see that engine bay. That's pretty much the only reason. Number 4 is, what color am I getting? So I'm actually torn between a couple different colors on this car. I love the hypersonic gray. I love black, obviously, and I really like the idea of the new carbon flash color. Now, with that said, the carbon flash hasn't been confirmed as to whether or not it's only going to be for the anniversary edition car, or if you'll be able to get it on any of the cars. So if you can get it on any of them, I'm probably going to get the carbon flash. Number 5 is, am I getting the Z06 or the Z07 package car? It is definitely going to be the Z07 package car. I am all about the options you get with that Z07. So that's pretty much it for my 5 questions. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below on the color of the car. Which color are you going to get? Are you going to get the Z06 or the Z07? I'm curious to see how many of your builds are going to be very closely mirrored to mine. And obviously, guys, all the information we talked about in the video, let me know what your thoughts are. Price, Nurburgring, the availability, the top speed, and how many of these things are going to be made. I'm curious to hear your thoughts down below. But guys, that's going to do it for today's video. So if you liked what you saw, please hit that thumbs up button. Let me know you're liking the content so we can keep creating this stuff for you and keep getting it out to as many other Corvette enthusiasts as possible. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'm going to have loads of information like this coming you're not going to want to miss. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next upload.